Hello, everyone, and welcome to Teacher Stories. We are sorry about yesterday's glitch. It was totally not under our control. My name is Ibiere Brown, and I am your host on Teacher Stories. So, I thought to tell a small story of how Teacher Stories began. I was paired with two awesome teachers on Lift 12.0. Now, Lift is an acronym for LinkedIn for Teachers. It is founded by Mrs. Rahina Kogi Eweleku, and it is a platform for teachers to grow, glow, and stand out. And so I was paired with these two teachers and given a webinar topic to speak on. I was the host on that webinar topic. From the very first time she typed teacher story as our webinar topic, I connected with it. I just felt that this could be something teachers can do, knowing fully well that our teaching profession has been relegated to the background for too long. So I decided that I could have this platform where we could come tell our stories, our journeys so far, how we faced our challenges, managed it, and all. So I spoke with Mrs. Rahina, and she thinks is an awesome idea. So here we are having teacher story for the very first time officially on my YouTube page. So I have a guest with me who will be telling us how he started, how the journey has been going. His name is Mr. Isaac Ewetola. He is a passionate educator and administrator with over 11 years of experience in teaching, curriculum development, and school leadership. He holds a national diploma in civil engineering from Yaba College of Technology, a bachelor's degree in physics and mathematics education from the University of Ibadan, and a bachelor of theology from the Baptist Theology of Lagos. He is also a TRCN certified teacher. Mr. Isaac Eweleku, sorry, Mr. Isaac Ewetola. Did I say Eweleku? Ewetola, sir. He is a data analyst and a content creator. Oh, wow. In addition to teaching, I'm sure I would like hearing this story, how you are able to combine both being a data analyst and a content creator. Through his educators community, he's able to empower fellow teachers with professional development opportunities. Everyone meet Mr. Isaac Ewetola. It's good to have you join us on our very first edition of Teacher Stories. So please tell us how it has been so far. Mr. Isaac, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, you have the floor now, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm so honored to be on this platform. Thank you very much for this invitation. Well, my journey into the teaching career is a very interesting one. And I would like to start by saying that my teaching career is into two segments. So the first segment, I will call it the unprofessional teacher. So I actually started teaching as an unprofessional teacher. So what do I mean by this? I'm referring to the time I finished my secondary school education. So that was the time I have actually started teaching. And my teaching then was an unprofessional one. So what makes me to be able to call it unprofessional is because now I am a professional teacher and I know the difference. So after secondary school, I got engaged with the tutorial center I was attending while I was in secondary school. So by the time I finished my secondary school, the tutorial center has upgraded to become a secondary school. So I got engaged in that when I was teaching. So I was teaching mathematics, I was teaching basic technology. So my experience started from there, and I discovered that I was doing it with passion. I was doing it with a very great joy. Okay, so after that, I got admission into the Polytechnic. So not very, so I didn't spend so much time. doing the teaching. So when I got admission into Polytechnic, I went to study civil engineering. Okay, so after studying civil engineering, in the midst of doing my 1 year IT, I discovered that there is a passion tussle. There's a passion tussle whether to continue in civil engineering or to go for teaching. So one thing I
Hello,
discovered
Mr.
is that I
Isaac.
love teaching.
Can you hear me?
Hello? Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me, ma? Can you hear me? Can I continue? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Please go ahead.
Okay. Okay. So I
Yes,
was talking
please.
about the passion tussle. There was a time of passion tussle, either to be a teacher, to go into teacher's training, or to continue as a civil engineer. So it was a very tough decision then, because I discovered that my passion was more into teaching, encouraging people, organizing seminars, and the likes. So I was in that dilemma. Okay, so in that situation, I had to get counsel. I had to get advisors that how should I go about it. So then I decided to go into teaching. So I obtained jump form again. Hello, Mark, can you
Okay.
hear me now?
I can hear you.
Okay, so I obtained jump form and I picked teacher education with maths
Mm.
and physics. So that was how I started my journey into teaching proper.
Okay. Thank you. So, how has it been after school? Did you get a job immediately teaching, or you did something else? How has it been?
Okay, thank you very much. I also like to talk about my school experience also. So let me start from
Okay.
there.
Okay.
My school experience. So the kind of yeah, thank you. The kind of department I found myself, it was a, let me say, it's a no man's world. There was nobody to help. There was
Mm.
nobody to inform you. There was no helping hand. So we have people taking different courses. It's actually difficult for us then to even know ourselves, to be able to skate through. So literally we were in three departments, so to speak. So I had to take courses in physics, I had to take
Wow.
courses in mathematics, and I had to take courses in my own department, which is the teacher education. So we were able to skate through after all the ups and downs. So after graduation, another funny episode came around. That's my NYSC. For my NYSC, because of my passion for teaching, I was desiring and hoping that I'll be posted to a school, but
Okay.
it didn't turn out that way. I was posted to uh, an office, so a furniture office for that matter.
Hey, good.
So, so I was absorbed to be an administrative officer. I tried rejecting it, tried to get schools, but I couldn't get. So I had to adapt. And I want to say that experience also helped me. It's part of what I'm gaining today. Having an
Okay.
office experience, being in the formal setting. So I was
Okay.
able to get an office experience from that. So after that, I got an offer to stay with the office. I got an offer to stay with the office, and I was very happy. But something within me is still talking about this passion. Is this passion towards you? That hey, are you actually where you are supposed
You
to
want.
be? When I weighed the structure of the office, I discovered that there is no career ladder. So what I mean by career ladder is that there is no chances of progression. There is
Okay.
no yardstick for promotion for employees' performance evaluation. So I just discovered that it's all about the mood of the employers. So when you are in their good books, you could have a pay rise and rest like that. Then I also see this trend of the hire and fire. They can do that at will. So I just decided that I'll leave. I'll leave for Lagos. So that time it was at Abuja. I did my NYSC at Abuja. So I was also confused that should I settle in Abuja or should come back to Lagos. So and I call that a journey of faith, though it was a risky journey because I didn't have anything to come and do in Lagos. Yes, I was about to leave a job that I've not even spent up to a month. So I think I spent just 20 days. I spent
Oh,
20 days at the job. So I saw an offer in the newspaper that a school needed a physics teacher in Lagos. So I just got into that offer with faith and I applied. And like a week later, I was sent a message of invite. And I gave them my condition that I'm not in Lagos presently. And they said anytime I come to Lagos, that I should come. I should just walk in. That was how I packed my load and I left. That was my first teaching, my first professional teaching experience. So to the glory of God, I got that job. I got that job. So and
wow.
sometimes I looked at myself that what if I didn't get the job? But I thank God that I got that job.
Yes.
That was where I started as a physics and further mathematics teacher. Thank
Okay.
you.
You're welcome. So there's this question that is aching. I am aching to ask. One of the reasons why I approached you with this is because you're a man, and it's not easy to find men in the teaching profession. Most times when you say teachers, people you see that come around are mostly women. So we have more women than we have male teachers. So that's why I decided to ask you to come on the show with me today, because I've always worked with women and I would like to do a twist. So what do you think? Is teaching a male or a female job? Should it be relegated to only women, or men can also thrive at this? Like we've been talking about passion, and I'm so happy that you keep mentioning passion, because for a man to be passionate about teaching is awesome. It feels so good, because we have men doing other things, and they wouldn't want to be a teacher. Some men, I doubt if men like to be teachers. So, what would you say to other men, encouraging them to be teachers? And two questions I've asked now: is it supposed to be just a woman's job? Or is it okay to also be a man's job?
Okay, thank you for the question. Uh, for me, teaching should not be relegated or to be reserved for women only. Men are also eligible to do the job.
Okay.
The most important thing is the passion, like I've said, and the willingness to impact knowledge into the students. So one of the things that made it to be gender biased is actually because of the remuneration, the society has classed it as women job and looking at some of the benefits. There are some other benefits like all these holidays, the breaks, and the rest. It's a bit flexible. And that is why it's always the first point of call for women that they should go into it. And apart from that, women, the motherly care, the feminine nature. So they have this attribute of that being able to be the modern nature. So they still bring it into the classroom. So I just want to
Okay.
encourage men that any man that is gifted, that is willing to be a teacher, can actually go into it. And
Going
now
to
teaching
teach.
has gone beyond the former days. So teaching is now, let me put that word, it's international, it's global, it's a noble profession. Thank
Yes,
you, ma.
it is. It's indeed a noble profession. I can say that for a fact. So, what challenges have you faced while teaching or as a teacher?
Yeah, for challenges, I'm going to talk about students.
Okay.
Students, firstly,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes they might want to prove naughty. They have their pranks. They want to frustrate your efforts, and they want to paint you as if you are not doing your work. So just because they are not interested in what you do. And I know mathematics teachers, we also agree with me that mathematics is one of the subjects that students don't like. And the mathematics teacher is always the person that people want to blame. Whenever there are PTA meetings, it is the maths teacher, the parents will be making complaints. Hey, the maths, oh, the maths, it's not good though. So, and they will keep talking about maths teacher. And I will just be surprised that is it not the same class where we have high flyers that we're having this the ones that are yet to actually come up. So there was a time I was even happy when there was a change of subject. There was a change of subject. I had to change from mathematics to sciences and any other subject. So I got a bit relief. So whenever there are open days, wow, the parents don't even come to me. So the two subjects they look for is mathematics and English. So you see them running after those teachers. My child, oh, my child. Oh. And the funny part of it is that the parents, some of them, they don't help. They don't help matters. The aspect they are supposed to do to oversee the child
Okay.
at home, they still want to cheat to the teacher. Okay.
So, but what if?
So
Sorry to cut you. What if the child didn't understand what was taught? I never liked mathematics, and I don't know why. I think it was because my teachers didn't pass on the information properly, or the teaching process properly. I don't like mathematics, so I don't know. I think it's partly the teacher's problem, or don't you think so? Maybe the teaching method is wrong, and they are not carrying the students or the learners along.
yeah, thank you very much. Mathematics has, let me say, one of the things that makes students to fear mathematics is actually
Yes.
the teacher's presentation.
Hmm.
So, but for me, my presentation
Mm.
has been guided discovery. I make use of guided
Okay.
discovery. I make use of playway method. Sometimes I use playway method, and I try to work on their mind anytime we want to have the lessons. I'll let them to know that there is nothing new in what we are learning. There are things
Okay.
they've been taught in their primary school. So I bring in relevant experiences, things they are familiar with. So that's what I do. And with that, some of them they've been able to cope. So, and
Okay.
another thing about it is that they also need to practice. They need to practice. If they don't practice, it will be difficult for them to grasp the concept. So for me,
Okay.
mathematics is fun, and
Mm.
I try my best to simplify it as much as possible.
So have you ever made a mistake in class while teaching? Maybe with a formula or something you're writing, something you're solving, something. Have you ever made a mistake?
Yes, it was funny.
How did you handle that?
The let me say for this particular one, I was the one
Yes.
that discovered it's much lighter. The fun the fun becomes lighter. Let me use that word. If you are the one that discovered, but
Okay.
if the student discovers, depends on your
Yes.
relationship. If if, if there are students that are good to go with you, even if they are the ones that discovered, you still have a way
Mhm.
of laughing it off and moving on with it. So, but this particular one, I was the one that discovered, and we had gone a long way. We had gone a
So that
long
means
way
you
on
made
the board. I think
with the mistake you have made the wrong solving, and probably the answer too was wrong. And
no,
it
we
means that
are
the
we
children
have not.
they were not following. Were they following?
They, they didn't know that there was already an error.
That means they were just copying it down.
Yes. So most times I don't even like them copying down. I like us solving
Mm,
first.
okay, which
So
is better.
so when I discovered the error, I said
Okay.
they should wait. I've seen something. Oh, it's like we have made a mistake. Oh, so
Mr.
one
Isaac,
of
can
them
you hear
said,
me?
let's. I can hear you.
But
Okay. So
uh,
so we just laughed it
I didn't
off,
get
and
that part. Yeah.
I apologized. Okay. So I can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. So back to the point of where I discovered the error. So I told them that it's like there's an error here. And one of the students reacted that let's be guided. So he's trying to tell me that we know what we are doing, you know. So we were able to laugh it up and we did
Let's be guided. Really?
the,
Oh my world. Let's be guided. That's really funny. So, have you ever experienced students trying to say to teachers, "Let's be guided," and the teacher gets upset? Have you experienced anything like that?
no, 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 no.
No.
My
No, because
students are always my friend.
okay. Okay.
I always my friend. They can even defend me anywhere. They are
That's
always my
good.
friends.
That's good. So we take it that you love the teaching profession. You love what you do.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
So if you were given the opportunity to be the Minister of Education, what would you do differently?
Mm, wow,
I hope that didn't throw
that's a
you off balance.
yeah, that's
Because you know that the education system needs some change, right? We need to change here and there. Our curriculum are not in sync. Those of us in River State are doing something else. Those in Lagos are doing a different curriculum. Different schools have different things. The environment is also not very conducive for some of us. So, what do you think you'll do differently?
oh well. what I would do differently, let me start with one of the things that has been on my mind.
Okay,
It's
great.
the class nomenclature
Okay. What's that?
for senior.
Explain to people who don't know.
What do you say, ma?
Explain to people who don't know what class nomenclature is.
Okay, I'm referring to the naming of the class, the naming of the class system. Like
Okay.
we have the senior secondary school,
Yes.
SS1.
Mm-hmm.
So we have SS1, SS2, SS3. Okay,
Okay.
so what I would like to do is that I would like to give them a different name. Like if I can have something like WAEC class 1.
WAEC.
So I am looking, yes, WAEC class 1, then WAEC
Okay.
class 2, WAEC class 3. I'm looking at a situation whereby they will have this orientation that they are sitting for WAEC right from
Okay.
SS1.
Yes.
Because
True.
my experience,
Mm-hmm.
it is until they go to SS3 that is when some of them believe that is the time they should start preparing for WAEC.
Mm.
You talk to some students, they have lost their notes from SS1. They don't
Mm.
they don't have their notes again, and
Okay.
you see them saying so many things that they have not taught them a particular topic. So, but if we have this kind of naming, it will
Okay.
sink into them. They will have that consciousness that
Mm-hmm.
I am writing WAEC. Not even that name goes a long way in their mind. I'm WAEC class 1. What class are you? I'm in WAEC class 2. So then when they get to SS3, we can say WAEC class 3. So another thing is the Teaching Registration Council of Nigeria, that
That's
is TRC.
TRC. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would like it to be more, let me say, should be taken more seriously.
Okay.
The
How do
standard
you mean?
should be the standard
Go
should be
on.
upgraded. The
Okay.
the the policies and everything should be upgraded, and there should be it should be made compulsory that all schools must employ TRCN certified teachers.
Okay.
So let this body be recognized like other professions. We have ICANN for accountants.
Okay.
We have
Mm-hmm.
we have other bodies for administrators, human resource management. We have them. So that of teachers, they are actually trying, but
Yeah.
we can do better. We can still
That's
do better. So that's another aspect. Then the other one is teachers' welfare. Let teachers be
very
treated
important.
as kings. The basic amenities, let the teachers have access to them.
Mm.
So health care, car loans, pension, and the rest of that benefits. So let teachers have access to those things. Then the government will also need to invest in the use of digital tools. It's actually
Okay.
a global world. So the, the children, they need to be equipped with digital tools. It's so funny that the children we have these days, they have so many apps on their phones, but they don't have the
Okay.
ones that can help them. They don't have it at all. There was a day I was asking some of the students that, do you have PDF, just PDF on your mobile phone? He said no.
Okay.
And anywhere I have opportunity to speak with teenagers, those are part of the things I usually ask. And there is no time I make that request that they pass my test. The, the last one I went, it was only two out of 20 that had PDF. So I said, so if you have an assignment from school, PDF is the file that will help you to be able to read it. So these children, they have access to other things. So I would like to just stop there. Thank you.
Wow, one of the cool things you said so far that I like is welfare. Because if you had not mentioned it, I would have asked you what about teachers' welfare. Interestingly, I don't know why what that is or why teachers are being paid the least. Like we are not even appreciated for the work that we do. We do so much and then we go back home with so little. So if you had not mentioned welfare, you and I would have had a long day talking about this welfare, and teachers really do deserve it. Teachers do deserve it. I have a long line of teachers waiting to come on this show, and we're going to talk about a lot of things. We'll talk about welfare. People need to know, people need to see our work. Sometimes they act like they're saying it, but they don't even appreciate it at all. Like you mentioned, then the parents will come and they are scolding the teacher for not helping their child pass mathematics and all without doing their own work at home. That's all we get. Teachers coming to school, parents coming to scold us rather, and antagonize us for something they think that we didn't do. And then about the technology, yes, that video before.
No.
I saw this video, I think on the WhatsApp group I belong to with my colleagues, and I was short of words. What do you think would have caused it, or how do you think they would have handled it? I'm talking about relationship between teachers now, while teachers are, fighting themselves. What do you think would have caused that?
Well, that's a very um, it's uncalled for. Shouldn't have gotten to that height. So
Maybe it was frustration
whoever was,
now. This welfare we are talking about. Maybe it was frustration from from no salary or little salary. Maybe it was frustration. We are here to tell our stories. This thing happened to us. Some of us are not able to handle our emotions. It was a very sorry sight, I must say. Has that ever happened to you before? Have you had issues with your colleagues? No.
well, I have had issues. I've had issues
So how
with
did you handle it?
students.
Mm,
Uh, the issues actually they are all about responsibilities. Just like any other office, apart from your primary assignments, there will
okay.
be other duties.
Mm,
So some of those
mm,
times I had issues with colleagues were not related to primary assignments. They were secondary assignments. So
okay.
what we do, what happened was that there is a kind of some people they will want to dodge from their responsibilities. And I'm a kind
Okay.
of person that I like putting in my best to do the work.
Mm,
I like
mm,
doing the job. So in the midst of that, there was arguments, but I was able to handle it maturely. So
mm,
it was not visible to students.
okay.
The highest, we went to our superior to sort it out for clarification, and that never affected our relationship. So we had to just sort it out. And I'm a kind of person that I don't report people even when we are in a team. So what I'll do is I will keep encouraging you that let's do this thing,
Okay.
let's do this thing. When it's time for delivery, I still use the pronoun we. I've never used the pronoun
Mm,
I. I won't.
hi. Nice.
I will
Mm,
I. I'd never
mm,
do that. Once it's
yeah.
teamwork, even you didn't participate at the pace
Mm-hmm.
I expected when presenting the task to the boss.
Yes.
I still present it as we. So that's been my lifestyle.
Oh, that's really nice to know. Thank you, Mr. Isaac. It's just good having you on this edition of Teacher Story. Thank you for joining me on this to tell your story. Like I said earlier, this is our first edition, and you did not even bat an eyelid. You just said, "Yes, ma'am, I'm going to be on the show." I know you have another webinar by 5, and I'm not going to be keeping you for that long. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you to everyone who joined and to those who will watch later. Teacher Story is a monthly event. We have teachers already lined up, great teachers doing great work. All we want to do is to tell our stories, how far we've come, how we started. I have my story, so someday I'm going to come online and I'm going to share my story. I wasn't as passionate as Mr. Isaac here. He started with the passion, he pushed on. Some of us had to learn on the job, and we loved the job in the end. But in the beginning, it wasn't always like that. So there's a story. Every teacher has a story, and we will also like to let people know, to begin to appreciate the work that we do. A pat on the back will do us good. A thank you will also do us good, because in the end, we are forming the lives or shaping the lives of people that will become leaders, of people that will take over from us. We want to be good models to these people. So we are sharing our challenges, our passion, our journey so far. Some of us have done a lot of things just to be better at it. We have gone for trainings. Now there is AI. We are inculcating AI into our job. I mean, somebody needs to appreciate us. Or don't you think so, Isaac? Mr. Isaac, don't you think so? We need people appreciating the work that we do.
Yes, study.
Thank you. Yes. Any last words, sir? Any final words before we go
Okay,
off?
my parting shot is that
Mm,
as a teacher or as an aspiring teacher, do not undervalue yourself. Do
wow.
not undervalue yourself.
Yourself.
Let people see your value.
Thank
Let
you.
them know that you are what. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you so much. Thank you. And thank you to Mrs. Rahina for pushing me to do this. I must appreciate her on this one. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, lifters, for always for your continuous support. Despite the glitch yesterday, we still had our first edition up today. So thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Isaac. We'll continue this from our Lift platform. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Okay. Thank you very much. Bye.